Welcome back, True Seeker. Apologies, running a little bit late. Our stream on Patreon went overtime today. Again, if you want those daily sports streams, we are on Patreon taking advantage of the rig. Yesterday, nice 11-0 day in hockey. Solid day all around. But anyway, somebody last night asked me if I covered the marathon shooting, and I thought she must be talking about the Nipsey Hussle shooting from March 2019. So I just typed it in to see if anything else was going on. I thought, oh, look at that. Nipsey Hussle's brother just opened a burger joint called Marathon Burgers, and the place gets shot up on the grand opening. Smells like a ritual. You guys missed this story. On the 60th day of the year, this burger joint celebrated its grand opening, March 1st. Nipsey Hussle was a Crip, and he was part of the Rollin' 60s. So a grand opening on the 60th day of the year, and it gets shot up. And something tells me it was undercover cops that shot it up. And I just got to say, I hope you guys, when we were covering Nipsey Hussle's death, this channel was in its prime, just getting monster views. We had thousands of people on the live stream when we were covering Nipsey Hussle's death. If you weren't here at that time, I covered his death the day the news broke and the day after, and the same thing happened to both of those live streams. I still to this day don't know how they did it. The live stream was hacked, and they started playing literal 80s porn with Big Bush on the screen, and I ended up getting in trouble for that. And it wasn't me who did it, but somehow both of the streams on Nipsey Hussle's death got hacked. I don't think that'll happen anymore because this channel is shadow banned to hell. Nobody even gets these videos for the most part. But let's go through it anyway. We're going to bring it all together here. We'll go back and revisit the Nipsey Hussle death. Personally, I don't know if Nipsey Hussle really was killed or not, but I do know the footage they put out of Nipsey Hussle's supposed body receiving CPR was a total hoax. We showed that footage in the stream. That might have been part of the reason we got hacked. But they were literally giving CPR to a plastic dummy that was flimsy with no weight to it. And if you guys, I mean, the internet keeps things. Go back and look for the footage of Nipsey Hussle supposedly getting CPR. You can see it's a plastic dummy. So if that's what they had to put out in the news, is there any real proof that the man died? Again, there's a lot of fake stuff in the news. There's a lot of psychological operations. And again, the profit motives there. Go back. We'll even go back over the headlines. How much his music sales were up after all the attention for his death. And remember, when Nipsey Hussle died, it was kind of weird. I had personally never even heard of Nipsey Hussle before he died, but the media was classifying him as a modern-day Tupac, and it's like, please. Everybody knew who Tupac was, even if you didn't listen to rap music. Everybody knew who Tupac was. I know a lot of people are in the same boat as me. Nipsey Hussle? You mean like the comedian Nipsey Russell? And remember, there was a joke with the Nipsey Hussle death and the comedian Nipsey Russell. Just like there's an obvious joke with this latest ritual of the burger spot getting shot up. So this was the day of the Austin shooting by the numbers, which they were saying was a revenge act from Iran. But look here, let me just scroll down here. Remember, Nipsey Hussle died at 33. So we were told, right? They said the shooting at the grand opening happened at 3:30 p.m. I mean, it just broken record with the 33s. And again, in Gematria, again, if you don't know what Gematria is, it comes from Kabbalah. It's the practice of coding numbers into words. Masonry, 33. Pirate and false flag, 33. The terminology of false flag comes from pirates, the people who established this nation with all the maritime law. They have a lot to do with pirates, too. Really goes back to the Templars and their years at sea after that they were, after they were pretty much banned from France, beheaded, burned at the stake. And if you know anything about modern Freemasonry, there's a major tie-in with the Templars. There's a modern-day order of Templars, and they have to be on hand anytime a Masonic lodge is open. But the point I'm making is just how all this stuff sort of fits together. Again, you got the police writing up these false reports for these inside jobs. And if there was a shooting at this burger joint, I suspect it was probably off-duty officers. We'll get to that. But Masonry, pirate, false flag, not to mention, Bloods and Crips are Masonic, if you didn't know that their origins are all Masonic. Again, we're talking about the Rollin' 60s Crips, and we're talking about Nipsey Hussle with the shooting on the 60th day of the year. But yeah, Masonry, pirate, false flag, police, again, Fraternal Order of Police, Masonic, Federal. DC is known as the Masonic City. Federal. Again, the Masonic headquarters in DC is at the address 1733. Mason equals 17. Masonry 33. Secrecy, order, all 33. Same rituals over and over. Nipsey Hussle supposedly dead. They put out footage of a CPR dummy being worked on, and they tell you that's Nipsey. Notice from Nipsey's date of death, we're coming up on the 7th anniversary in terms of years, the 7th anniversary of his death at the end of this month. Notice it's 361 weeks on the nose, which has a square root of 19, and 19 is the chaos code. Again, the Masons, they have the motto, order out of chaos. His brother is who created this burger joint called Marathon. Like Nipsey was supposedly shot outside of his Marathon store. But yeah, shooting on the 60th day of the year, going with the Rolling 60s Crips. And notice, shout out to Gematria32. He added this piece today in our Patreon stream. He talked about how from the anniversary of Nipsey's death to this shooting was 83 months and a day. Remember, of course, that's the murder code. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 1983. They're saying 1 dead, 2 injured. But there were all these comparisons drawn between Nipsey Hussle and Haile Selassie. Some people think Haile Selassie was the reincarnation of Jesus in Ethiopia. But his name is also 83. And I forgot to put it up here. Ethiopia is also 83 for the record. But again, so is murder. And think about this too. A shooting on the 60th day of the year at 3:30 p.m., 30 days before the upcoming 7th anniversary of Nipsey Hussle's reported death. Again, if you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers in the English language, alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology applied. So I have 3 out of the 4 ciphers up here. But look how that just factors in with all this, how this is also perfect. And again, the song Murder by Numbers by the Police from 83, where killing is as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. And about the Masons and 7, 7's a super special number to the Masons. Their logo is essentially a 7 with instruments of geometry around it. It's a capital G, which is the 7th letter. But yeah, 7 is the sacred symbol representing perfection, completion, and the foundation of knowledge. Again, does this complete the ritual? Got to open up the burger joint with a mass shooting. Just to go run over some things that we talked about. Nipsey Hussle's death was confirmed on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And he'd done this song with Chinks Drugs, who died by the numbers, called Hey Fool. And I'm trying to remember the name of the man that they blamed it on. It had the same name as the Attorney General for Obama. Cannot think right now. United States of amnesia, but there was a lot to it. Nipsey died on the 118th day of Jay-Z's age. LA's that 118 city on the 118th meridian. Beyonce's got the same birthday as LA, September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle, he's in this music video with Rolling 60s members where they're all wearing t-shirts that say, I'm so hood 47, like the 47th problem of Euclid, which is important to the Masons. We were talking about that yesterday with the death of Aiden Ross's sister by the numbers. And again, this is the whole motive right here. Here's April Fool's Day, the day after the news breaks. Again, death sells like no other. Nipsey Hussle music soars on Amazon and iTunes in wake of his murder. And remember, they loaded the plastic dummy, and they literally did, you guys. Go back and watch the footage. You can see that it's not a real person. They loaded the plastic dummy into ambulance number 57. Yeah, he had this victory lap thing. Nipsey did. His store was called The Marathon. Just how all this stuff overlaps. Victory lap, The Marathon, April Fool's Conspiracy. They're all 51 and 57 going into ambulance number 57. Victory Lap was his top-selling song at the time. So yeah, just to scroll through some of this, just always the 33. Look at what day his birthday is. The Jesuit Order's birthday, August 15th. He died 228 days after his birthday. That's death in Sumerian gematria. We just talked about that in a major way with what we've just done in Iran. And his birth name equals 137, which is the 33rd prime number from his date of death to his upcoming birthday, which is also the Jesuit Order's birthday. Again, the Jesuits are the fathers of modern Freemasonry. Just 137, the 33rd prime. Nipsey Hussle has the same gematria as sacrifice. Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. We just talked about this with Aiden Roch yesterday. He's at 4.6 million subscribers on his social media account, and they saved the news of his sister's death for the 62nd day of the year. Torah equals 62. Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. Genesis begins the Torah. But yeah, Nipsey died on 46 date numerology, so we were told. He was a Crip. Crip has the 46-62 connection. His longtime girlfriend, Lauren London, there was a lot with her, but she had the 62 connection. She was 34 at the time. She was in the movie ATL, and he died on the anniversary of that movie's release. It was the 13th anniversary of the movie's release. 13 special in Masonry as well. It's one of their celebrated numbers. March 31st, the day he died, can be written 331, like the 67th prime, big blood sacrifice code. Yeah, killed in front of the store. Yeah, there's a lot here. I mean, we covered this in a major way at the time. The Marathon Clothing, full name 211, the 47th prime. Mason study, the 47th prime of Euclid. Again, the whole Masonic ritual with Aiden Ross's sister yesterday. They saved the news for 47 days. Again, just the same patterns get used over and over. Victory Lap, the store. Victory Lap, his first and only studio album released on the 47th day of the year. 47th day of the year. DJ Khaled had a new album coming out at the time, and Nipsey Hussle was featured to be on it. That album released 47 days later. That album came out on the 137th day of the year, the 33rd prime. Again, Death to Sell Records. DJ Khaled announced the album right before the death on March 22nd. Old 322. He had recently been nominated for a Grammy, only to die at 33. You see it again and again. And yeah, that's the thing. Nipsey Hussle, the comedian, died on the 275th day of the year, the day leaving 90 days. Nipsey Hussle dies on the 90th day of the year, the day leaving 275 days. Reflections of each other. And the one cipher of police that I took out of there equals 102. So maybe that's part of the joke too, since Nipsey Hussle died on 10-2. Yeah. Some of this other stuff is, Nipsey's got that 74 connection, deadly number. We just talked about Bob Power being announced dead at 74 on 3-3. Again, Masonic is 74, Masonry 33. We talk about how they put these numbers all the time together. Nipsey 74, dead at age 33. Out of the 50 states, only one equals 74. It's Oregon, which is the 33rd state. London equals 74. It's divided into 33 neighborhood areas. Jesus 74, believed to have been killed at age 33, and so on and so forth. Having strong enemies is a blessing, rapper Nipsey Hussle wrote on his Twitter account minutes before he died. Again, looks a little bit suspicious. 187, the homicide code, the Jesuit code. Dr. Sabi. There was a parallel with that too. I forget because it's been a moment. I guess I got it right here. So they died 138 weeks apart. It's interesting because Nipsey Hussle's birthday leaves 138 days left in the year. 967 days, which is the 163rd prime, and 163 is the 38th prime, bringing us back to death. Death, murder, killing, RIP, they're all 38. Dr. Sebi died August 6th, can be written 8-6. Blood sacrifice and human sacrifice have that 67 and 86 code. They talked about how he was just seen at the Texas Tech upset in the Elite Eight. Just another 33 thing. Born in 85, the year of the first March Madness. That was right before. You know what else? Looking back, that was right before Mahomes, the Texas Tech product, had his big breakout. That season, that coming NFL season was the first season that Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Kobe would die. Maybe something to that. Real quick, I just gotta look now. I gotta look. March 31st. Whoops. March 31st, 2019 to Mahomes' birthday. He's got the same birthday as the NFL. Huh. So he died 170 days before Mahomes' birthday. Sacrifice has that 170 code. Sacrifice. Here's out the 6246. Here's the 170. Yeah, that is interesting. And let's see. 38-year-old Alley Boy went on social media saying there was no conspiracy. And just, I mean, what a load of shit. I mean, literally, they showed you a plastic dummy getting worked on. I mean, there's enough conspiracy right there. Forget all the number stuff. Alley Boy, born on March 3rd. Wonder where they pulled him from. Alley Boy has the same gematria as murder. Alley Boy's real name is Curtis Freeman, also 62. Born on the 62nd day of the year. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle died on a date with 73 and 46. There's the 170 up there. You know, wasn't thinking about that at the time with the Texas Tech Mahomes, but it's how this world of celebrity works. So yeah, Nipsey Hussle. Looks like there really was a Mahomes connection. Don't forget, old Tupac dies on Caesar Borgia's birthday. Machiavelli wrote The Prince based on Caesar Borgia. Again, next thing you know, a Machiavelli album is out, and then next thing you know, Prince is dead years later, and then right after that's the real Machiavelli's birthday, and Tupac's mom's announced dead on that day, May 3rd. She died May 2nd, but the news broke May 3rd, the real Machiavelli's birthday. Caesar Borgia is where white Jesus comes from. Yeah, just getting to the point here with them comparing Haley Selassie to Nipsey Hussle, and Haley Selassie's compared to Jesus. And just how this Jesus code is all over the deaths of Tupac and Biggie and really a lot of other rappers. And again, they were comparing literally Nipsey Hussle to Tupac, which I don't think there's really any comparison to. One was a larger than life celebrity, and I don't think most people knew who Nipsey Hussle was until he died. I remember people was like, "Oh, I know who Nipsey is." Okay, you're the minority. You might know who Nipsey is, but he was not that big of a name. It was ridiculous for him to be compared. Eric Holder, that's right. Eric Holder. And they said his nickname was Shitty Cuts. Eric Holder. But yeah, he was the supposed killer, which is the same name as Obama's attorney. And then they were holding him on bail for $7,040,000 just to get a 74 in there, please. $7,040,000. I mean, that doesn't look symbolic when you know what this 74 is all about to these people. This was the news on April 3rd, as they tell you his alias is Shitty Cuz, which equals 43 and also 151 like Jesus Christ. Again, the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, their fingerprints all over these things over and over. All right, I guess I covered that. Nipsey Hussle died 704 weeks after Nipsey Russell. Again, Nipsey equals 74. 704 weeks. 7,040,000 bail. Masonic occult. It was Sean Dexter, once upon a time, who had that observation. Kodak Black got in on the festivities. on April 6th, or 4-6 or 6-4. His name is also 199 to 46 prime. They arrested the suspect on 4-2 for the latest 42 ritual at the time. Been a million more ever since. At the Bellflower. Bellflower, 47, like government, like authority, like policeman, like cop. Marathon clothing, 211, 47th prime. Eric Holder. It was 70 days after his birthday at the time. He was 68 at the time of the ritual. Big CIA number, 68. CIA founded in 47. Yeah, Obama did take office at age 47. The suspect was named on April Fool's Day. Yeah, Eric Holder was the Attorney General to number 44, April 1st, 2019, at 44 date numerology. Popular music video of his at the time had a tombstone in it with all kinds of suspicious dates on there. Wouldn't get into it, but just the guy's name was 67. Stephen Donaldson, like blood sacrifice. Like again, Nipsey died on 3/31, the 67th prime. The guy in the video died 38 days from his birthday. Death, murder, killing, rapper, RIP. Same numbers over and over. The guy's name on the tombstone equals the name of the music video. 277, 59th prime. Racks in the middle, 74. You know, this was the music video that was it was fresh off the press. It came out on the 46th day of the year, Sacrifice. And that was 44 days before the shooting. Shooting 44, like execution, like kill. Yeah, just say, I mean, think about how many times we'd already talked about this stuff before it happened, since it happened, just the same stuff over and over. You got all these people in the world that think it's a coincidence every time. It's crazy. Crazy. The music, so the song came out 44 days. The music video came out February 22nd, 37 days for the shooting. And it looks like I skipped it, but the music video came out on the 53rd day of the year. The shooting 37 days later. Those are Los Angeles numbers. Los Angeles 53 and 37. Oh, by the way, Los Angeles 109. The shooting at his restaurant that just happened on the 60th day of the year. That was 109 days after the Superior General's birthday. Los Angeles 109. Shooting 109. And again, he's got the same birthday as the Jesuit order. So yeah, the store getting shot up was 109 days after the Superior General's birthday. Roddy Ricch, 163, 38th prime. Yeah, there's a few other things that were interesting here. Shortly after the deaths of Nipsey Hussle, his ex, Lauren London, got announced to be in a new show, Games People Play. That premiered on the 113th day of the year. Another special number to the Masons. A reminder that Dr. Sebi died 113 days from his birthday. Born in 33 was he. The highest degree of the Scottish 113 right is 33. Lauren London, show came out 139 days after her birthday, shortly after Nipsey's death. Freemasonry 139. Remember, Tupac Shakur's got that 139. The day he died can be written 13/9. All right. Let me see. The manhunt for Nipsey's killer began on April 2nd, 4/2. I mean, give me a break. The anniversary of Rodney King's birthday, 42 code. that the day? Was that the day Marvin Gaye was killed? Prince of Motown, Detroit on the 42nd parallel. Marvin Gaye's birthday was April 2nd. He died on at age 44, supposedly shot by his father on April Fool's Day. Okay. Oh, I should have just kept going down. It's right there. Yeah, just how history repeats itself. The suspect was a 29-year-old. The word black is 29. Media loves to use that phrase, black on black crime. Okay. Yeah, I remember we did a lot of research on this. Russell Wilson becomes second player in NBA history with a 20-20-20 game and dedicates it to Nipsey Hussle. The shooting was on Schlossen. He did it versus the Lakers, so it was in Russell Westbrook's from LA, did it versus the Lakers. He hadn't quite passed Oscar Robertson yet. Remember, Oscar Robertson was the top with 181, the 42nd prime. Yeah, all these race rituals over and over. Yeah, the magic of triple double, the gematria too. Jesse Owens died on that day in history. New York Times did sent off like a king for another 74 encoding, 74 and 88, like rapper and Nipsey. Again, day in and day out, it's the same stuff over and over again. The London Marathon was ran shortly after the Nipsey Hussle death. Again, it just his ex's name being London. I forget how all this went down. I'd have to go back and look at everything, but just the crazy ritualism. He dies on the 118th meridian in the 118th city, and then the London Marathon's on the 118th day of the year. April 4th, they had the shooter in the news on 4/4, and the lawyer that was going to represent him. Yeah. Nipsey Hussle had a song called Fuck Donald Trump. Okay, I forgot this. It released on March 30th. So he died one day after the anniversary, the third anniversary of the release of the song. 3 years and a day later. Now Trump's back in office, and you got the store getting shot up. Fuck Donald Trump equals Nipsey Hussle. Funny. Okay. It doesn't look like I measured from Trump's birthday to that one. I got to go back and just check it out. Yeah, let's do a little bit more. That was just before Trump got elected. It was right around the same time they were killing Prince for Trump. Prince had the song Black Donald Trump. So look at that. The song came out 76 days before Trump's birthday. Remember this past election for the Superior General's 76th birthday, they put out the headline that Trump was the first Republican candidate for president to ever get more than 76 million votes. So Nipsey's song came out 76 days before Trump's birthday in the land of 1776. The election that year was November 8th. So look at that, 223 days before the election, too. 48th prime number. Donald Trump alone, 48. Okay. Uh, oh, yeah. This is the year we were all over Virginia to win the championship after they got humiliated being the first one to lose to a 16. It was all synced up with the humiliation ritual of Justin Fairfax. Gave this one out for free. I didn't even, yeah, yeah. This was a freebie. Justin Fairfax accused of RAPE the day of a Virginia Duke game when supposedly did it to a woman at Duke. Uh, yeah, they announced it 39 days before the start of the tournament. Just one of those shaming rituals, perfectly synced with the tournament. And it was 59 days before the championship game. And again, he was the lieutenant governor of Virginia. We said, "Oh, looks like they're telling you Virginia's going to be in the championship." Justin Fairfax. It only made too much sense after getting humiliated as a 1 versus 16 the year before. Remember, that was the 136th meeting of a 16 and a 1 on March 16th. 136, the 16th triangular number. We just talked about that in a big way with the death of the cartel guy and the ultimate 136-16 ritual. All right. But that game was shortly after the Nipsey Hussle death, where he was last seen at a Texas Tech game. All right. All right. Yeah, it looks like that's the majority. That's what still remains. It's hard to say if you or Google got rid of some of my old posts. They've deleted a lot of old posts off that site. But hey, also in the news, yesterday, I want to get to this one. I did a big post on my website in the morning, but never had time to present it. The father of the Georgia school shooter now found guilty of murder. This is becoming the new trend that these school shooters, their parents go to prison as well. And remember, Appalachia High School was on the 83rd Meridian, murder 83. And they did this on March 3rd, 3-3. The school was on the 33rd parallel, 83rd Meridian, Masonry, police, false flag, federal secrecy order. The headline said, "Father of Georgia school shooter, 137, the 33rd prime." And here's the coordinates. Remember, the school was at the address 940. The shooting happened on September 4th. Remember, there were a series of shootings that involved the numbers 49 and 94 in the days that followed. And this started in Georgia, and they all followed around the Georgia football team. Georgia was playing Kentucky, and supposedly a guy named Tim Couch was shooting people on the side of the freeway near milepost 94. Remember, in 94 is when the assault weapons ban happened. The assault weapons ban in 94 by the numbers. That was on September 13th. Gun control's 139. And look at the name, for example. Okay, so the 94 assault weapons ban on 13/9. Yeah, the song Regulators came out around that time from the Above the Rim soundtrack, which Tupac's in, and then 2 years to the day later, Tupac would supposedly get gunned down. But look at the father's name with gun control, you guys. 139, Colin Gray, gun control. 49, Colin Gray, gun control. The shooting was on the 4th of September. A date can be written 4/9. The Georgia Kentucky football game shooting. Again, they blamed it on Tim Couch, who used to be a quarterback at Kentucky. And then the game that Georgia played Kentucky, they retired Tim Couch's jersey right after the shooting. I mean, come on. That's why I hate that they get away with this stuff. It's like, wait a minute, a guy named Tim Couch in Kentucky? Tim Couch used to play at Kentucky. And remember the image they put out of Tim Couch? Looked like it was from 40 years ago. That's his photo? What kind of phone is that? In the age of HD, and they're giving you this blurry image that looked like it was taken in the 80s or older. But then, yeah, just the Tim Couch Georgia jersey retirement. And don't forget, that all led up to the bowl game with Georgia and Notre Dame that had the car driving into the crowd in the shootout. All in the same season. But yeah, gun control and Colin Gray also 50. In light of this going down on 3-3, 49 is the 33rd composite number. Again, the highest degree of the Scottish Rite's 33. Scottish is 49, like America, like Washington. Appalachia High School. From the shooting at the school to March 3rd, 78 weeks on the nose. Scottish Rite 78, Jesuit 78. Again, Jesuit priest wrote the rites of the Scottish Rite. Highest degree 33. This is the news on 3-3. Just the family name being Colt too should make you think of the gun manufacturer Samuel Colt. And the shooting happened 47 days after Samuel Colt's birthday anniversary. Appalachia equals 47. I mean, please. Colt Guns, their business took off in 1847. Again, from Samuel Colt's birthday anniversary to the shooting, 47 days. Appalachia, 52 and 47. The ruling on the father yesterday, March 3rd, 2026, a date with 52 numerology. Government and authority, 52 and 47. Same numbers get paired together all the time. And yeah, just a reminder, also on the same day as the inspired Nipsey Hussle burger joint getting shot up, March 1st. You also had a shooting in front of Buford's with a big heart. Again, all these stories meant to tug on your heartstrings. Buford's 31. They said it was an act of terrorism. This is the day after the invasion of Iran, the attack on Iran. Immediately, they got to have terrorism on the streets of America and say it's in response. Again, the more violence we commit in the world, the more violence that comes back to us. And it isn't easier for these people to swallow these narratives. I mean, that's why they do this to us. All these stories allow them to achieve their agendas, take more money from us through taxation for their wars and police state. They got to keep us safe from all these boogeymen, foreign and domestic. Yeah, again, we've covered this a few times, but the FBI on the scene was out of San Antonio, just all perfectly encoded. If you weren't here when 9/11 happened, 41 date numerology, massive 41 ritual. This shooting in Austin on a Sunday, all this perfect overlap. The supposed shooter who wore the something all lost sweatshirt has the same gematria as CIA. 68 was the number with 9/11, where in the 21st century, this theme of terrorism and West versus East and, Islam, the threat. I mean, it's all part of an ongoing narrative planned a long time ago. And by the way, McDonald's yesterday unveiled the big arch burger, since we're talking about burger joints getting shot up in Masonic rituals. How about this? On 3/3, McDonald's, with their super Masonic symbolism, releases the arch burger. One of the most sacred symbols to the Masons is the Holy Royal Arch, the one that has the astrological symbols up on the arch with Cancer right in the middle. But yeah, we talked about this many times. McDonald's, they did this to respond to Burger King's new and improved Whopper, which came out just a few days prior. But McDonald's, Burger King, Freemasonry, they have all this gematria overlap. Again, for decades, the food handlers test, you had to say that a burger needed to be cooked to 160 degrees. In recent years, they fudged it to now what the answer is 158 degrees. McDonald's, Burger King, Freemasonry. I forgot to put hamburger up here. I forgot hamburger. Pretty sure, or is it hamburgers? It's hamburgers. The plural is 158 as well. But you got to cook it to 158 degrees. Think about it. The highest degree of the Masons, 33. The symbol, the arch. The arch burger on 3/3. You don't think these same secret societies are behind these establishments? And seemingly they got a spell on America that they keep going to. I mean, fast food. Okay, I could justify eating fast food decades ago when it was actually cheap. But now it's expensive. And it wasn't worth it even when it was cheap, but now that it's expensive, it's just crazy. I mean, the time I see people sitting in line to get a McDonald's burger and fries, why not just make it at your home? I mean, pull out the grill. It takes minutes to make a burger on the grill. I mean, 10 minutes. You're sitting in that line and if you make it at home, it's gonna be way better. You can get some high quality beef, first of all, that's way better than what they put on your McDonald's burger. You get way high, save a ton of money, better for you. It just I don't understand what's wrong with people. I guess the convenience, you don't have to do any dishes, it's all made for you, just throw all the trash in, you help create another landfill. I mean, that's also what's wrong with this whole system, just this throwaway culture. You drive down any highway, just all full of junk all along the path. I look at even out here living in the country. I live along this long country road. It's just crazy how much just garbage is in the ditch everywhere. You know, I always try to pick it up when it's right there along the fence, but there's a lot of barbed wire fences, so you can't even reach it. And it's just all these people have all this garbage on their property. And again, some people probably aren't even trying to litter. It's just you got the window down, picks up your leftover wrapper. Now it's on the street. It's just, but yeah, a total Masonic ritual here. And remember that movie, don't forget what they did to Ray Kroc, Mr. McDonald's, how he got sacrificed by the numbers, synced up with the San Ysidro massacre, and then the Padres, the team he owned, went to the World Series that year. I believe they lost to the Tigers, if I remember correctly, back in 1984. But yeah, that movie, The Founder, about Ray Kroc, just so many little gems in that movie. But yeah, if you missed that one, McDonald's with the new Arch burger, getting a lot of hype in the media. They're saying, oh man, this burger is good. I guarantee if you make one at home, it's going to be a lot better and cheaper. And also, just this today, 63rd day of the year, CIA arming people from Kurdistan. The CIA arming people from Kurdistan on the 63rd day of the year. I mean, are you kidding me? Remember, the CIA has the statue outside their headquarters, Kryptos, that pays tribute to this letter and number code. But what a day to arm the people of Kurdistan, to create an uprising in Iran. How much does this cost we, the taxpayers? How much money do we have to spend on the ammunition and the guns? Anyway, you notice Kurdistan's also 117, like Central Intelligence Agency. The CIA overthrew Iran back in the 50s. We never got a news that they gave it back. So feels like this is all just part of keeping those boogeyman states alive to justify the military-industrial complex, the people who benefit from that, who get our taxpayer dollars funneled to them. And don't forget, Operation Epic Fury is what we call this thing too, which also equals Central Intelligence Agency. But yeah, news by the numbers all day, every day. CIA working to arm Kurdish forces to spark uprising in Iran, sources say. Yeah. All right, and shout out to Gematria Sense. Gematria Sense always doing good decodes on, hey, what in the world? Yeah, but Gematria Sense always doing good decodes on freetofindtruth.com. Again, if you guys aren't on this website, it's my website. It's free to use. It comes with a pretty hefty bill. Again, if you do everything on your smartphone, download the Mighty Networks app. It's free. And then once you download it, search GematriaEffectNews. Once you're in there, it's what'll just pop up when you open up the app. And it pretty much works the same as any other social media website. I wish there was more involvement, but for what I paid, there's not enough involvement to justify the expense, but I keep it up hoping one day there'll be more people like Gematria Sense working, collaborating, sharing information. I know you guys just want to use the just marketing. It's a real thing, right? You guys want to use the big tech companies, Discord, Twitter, all these things. The thing is, they can just delete you at any minute. So that's why I do pay for the own website where the information won't disappear unless I choose to stop paying for the bill. But yeah, anyway, great decode here by Gematria Sense, just looking back at history and how the Superior General of the Jesuits was from Poland at the time, and how the invasion of Poland by the SS, which were modeled after the Jesuits, is all perfectly coordinated. So great work, Gematria Sense. Just a reminder of what's been going on all throughout history and who's really been running the show. You know, a lot of people don't want to see it, but from with the brain, the information, it does reveal the truth. So, all right. Thanks for opening up for dropping the link in the chat. That's what I got for today. I got to get back on the grind with everything else to do in a day. But thank you again to everyone who hits the like and the share. Looks like Nipsey Hussle, all these years later, not too interesting, but at the time, it was the thing everyone was talking about. But yeah, this headline of the burger joint getting shot up did seem to fly under the radar. I didn't even see it until somebody left the comment last night. So anyway, we'll still expose it and get the information out there. One more proof, as if we needed another proof of who the 33 cabal was and how they operate, but you never know. This could be the one decode that wakes up at least one more person. So the witness to the shooting was a relative of Nipsey Hussle, Eric Van Dyke. I'm sure there's even more to it. All right, yeah, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Thanks again, everyone who hits the like and the share. Have a good rest of your day. And until next time. Oh, hold on. Somebody's disappointed that there's no calls. All right, if somebody wants to get in real quick and share, it's got to be quick. I got 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then I got to run off and take care of a few things. There just aren't enough hours in a day. So, all right, I'm dropping the link. 5-minute cap on calls. So if you want to get in, make it good, make it efficient. The link is in the stream. But yeah, I do got to wrap this up in 5 minutes. U.S. says it's striking deeper into Iran as war spreads across region. March, the month named after Mars, the god of war. All this obvious symbolism on a calendar brought to you by the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. Catholic Church known for crusading the Muslims in the same place we're bombing. Trump says Iran's missiles and launchers being wiped out quickly. Okay. Remember last summer, what they said about the bombing turned out to not be true at all. BBC, we deserve a normal life. Iranians tell BBC as Israel begins new wave of strikes. They really are going crazy with this wave. The wave. Next year's Super Bowl logo's got a wave in it. What's going on with the wave? Iran death toll hits 1,045. Looks a bit like 145, like Israel's birthday, 14/5, Catholic 145. What's up, Gematria32?
Yeah, I seen the headline, right? It was in quotations, and you know how you say everything in quotations has numbers behind it, gematria. So it said murder she wrote in quotations. And then it said actress dead at 75. So I put in murder she wrote in the gematria and it equals 75. And
that's another one out there, huh? Another death.
And the woman's name, Maria
Angela Lansbury.
Maria O'Brien equals 75. I think that's her name.
All right, hold up. She was in Murder She Wrote.
Yeah.
She was in season 7 episode. I see.
I don't know what season, but
Maria O'Brien.
Okay. 75. Yeah, equals 75, and Murder She Wrote equals 75, which was in quotations. So I was like, wow. And 75 is one of the numbers. Catholic Church 75, Roman Catholic 75, and
New World Order.
Order out of chaos. I mean, 75 is the number. Remember the headline that you always bring up from the New York Times as well?
Yeah, so, of course.
It's no slouch of a number, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. And yeah, you didn't mention the Aiden Ross. I told you, remember it was 97 days from his birthday. Death equals 97.
I covered that yesterday in the video I did. 97th day being 25 years old, 97 the 25th prime.
I ain't covering this one just to repeat it, but okay. And
hold on, this must be a different Maria O'Brien. There's a different one who's 54 years old right now. She was in an Ozzy Osbourne music video. Oh, that's Mariah O'Brien. This Maria O'Brien doesn't seem to have a Wikipedia page. Okay.
Maria O'Brien, something like that. But yeah, she passed away on February 24th. They say. But,
the 55th day of the year, the day Trump gave his State of the Union, the anniversary, the 444th anniversary of the Jesuits implementing the Gregorian calendar. Okay.
Yeah, this whole war thing is by the numbers and a joke. I think you exposed it pretty well already.
She had an Oscar-winning father, Edmund O'Brien, who died in 85. So she's dead either 40 years and change later or 41 years later.
Yeah, it's a family business, just like the NBA, politics.
Did this news break today? Is this today's news or when did this break?
I seen the headline today. I don't know if it popped up.
It looks like a lot of people did break it today. The Hollywood Reporter had it yesterday. Today's the 63rd day of the year. A lot of these people are breaking it today. It says their first acting role was in 63.
Yeah, you know they hold back a lot of deaths for like a week or two to fit their number rituals.
The late actress also appeared in several films, including Shell Game of 1975. Okay, that's interesting.
So you think they putting boots on the ground, Zach? This is going to be like a never-ending war again?
Well, Trump said 4 to 5 weeks, so it's like, is that a reference to when World War II ended in 45? Oil's 45. He was number 45. IHS 45. It sounds like what they told us when Iraq started back in the early 2000s that we're going to be in and out.
Remember in PNAC that Iran was the 5th or 7th country. How many countries it was that they said it was gonna?
The 7th, yeah. Again, almost 19 years to the day of Wesley Clark revealing that in Democracy Now.
Yeah, in their documents. So it's like it's part of their plan, you know. So, it is what it is, you know. Their money, their rules.
It brings up this woman who's dead. It brings up how in 83 she testified before Congress about Alzheimer's disease. We just had the actor from Grey's Anatomy die in the Alzheimer's ritual. Or no, that was ALS. I take it back. That was ALS.
Zach, you think it could escalate and Russia and China could get in?
Well, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, we've been talking about this forever since Netanyahu came back on old Albert Pike's birthday.
That's a big country, Zach. It's what they say is 90, 100.
Did you mention this woman's name equals 75? Maria O'Brien?
That's one of the first things I said. I said her name equals
somehow I didn't hear that part, but yeah, there we go again.
Murder.
And the news, they're saving a lot of people saving the news for 3-4, but it did also break yesterday by Hollywood Reporter on the day of the blood moon. But yeah, 3-4 Murder She Wrote. She's in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they save a lot of these headlines for certain days. So,
did you find her birthday?
Ritualistic. No, I just
found it. Her birthday is August 14th. Okay, I got her birthday. And you said she died February 24th.
Yeah, I think that's what I read. What's the diff? How many days is it?
I'm checking right now. So they broke the news 201 days after her birthday. Can you believe it?
Coincidence alert. Yeah.
From her date of birth to her death was 194 days. I don't exactly know what to say about that number, but they did break the news 201 days after her birthday. So something else.
It's Hollywood, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Daily business, like you say. So how's the book coming along?
Oh, I mean, it's just sitting there on the back burner.
Man, did you touch it up?
It could definitely use some more touching up. Sorry, that is a good point, guys. Pay attention to what they do today. Today is 201 days after the Jesuit order's birthday. What do they do today?
Well, I appreciate all your work, Zach.
Because of the cost of everything. I mean, it's the cost of even just self-publishing is pretty expensive right now, and I'm pretty sure if I put out a new book based on how little views there is on this channel, and we've lost all momentum, and people who used to be around are long gone, I'm pretty sure it'll be costly for me to put out a book, and I'm pretty sure I would lose money. So part of the reason I'm not real motivated to do it.
Yeah. How about putting it out on Patreon?
Just as a digital book?
PDF, yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. That'd be an inexpensive way to do it. All right, I'll think about it.
You got the material. All you gotta do is put it together.
Yeah,
You got
and the
you got
problem is there's nobody, there's hardly anybody around. I mean, look, man, it's like a
you have tons of material. You just have to put together. You could put out 3 volumes right now, short, like whatever of whatever you want. You have so much material. Just like how you did with the first book. You just accumulated all your articles and your findings and your case study, and you just published it with everything, with the articles, and that's kind of why, you know, that's what kind of messed it up, the first book, because you left all the articles. So you understand?
I do. Yeah, no, there will be more books. It's just right now, man, it's a tough time. It's just it's
Do
hard.
you follow what I'm saying? Manly P. Hall, he wrote books, and a lot of people didn't buy his books,
Yeah.
and he still wrote. But a lot of authors write because they're writers. You're a writer, you know. I don't know,
Well,
but
I
you
got a
know,
lot of material out there, but I'll put more out there in due time. I'll put more out there in due time.
respectfully, I know you got a family. You're a business owner. You have a lot of things going on, and you take care of a lot of people over there. So I understand too. So don't get me wrong. So but thanks for everything, Zach. You're a great teacher. Appreciate you.
All right. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, guys. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share and supports the work. Shout out to King Henry. I see you out there, King Henry. Yeah, I got to run a few errands, so we will leave it there. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time.